Disappointed in our toughness tonight. Want to thank the crowd for coming out, but the tougher team won, and I'm disappointed that it was not us.
Start off with the same question I asked them, just kind of, what happened?
Well, I think they came out and played harder, with more intensity, with more desire to win. They had that extra bounce in their step. I think if you look at loose balls and recoveries, they were over everything. I thought rebounding was going to be huge. But you know what? If you shoot 52%, there aren't a whole lot of offensive rebounds for you to get. I thought getting to the free throw line was going to be big, and we did a good job there. I thought we took care of the basketball, but, there's no stat for toughness. If a kid hits 2 threes where the shot clock is winding down and we just give a player who we said scored 31 against an SEC team space, well, she's probably going to knock it down. But I thought their desire to win was greater than ours was.
Did that surprise you at all? Because like you just said, everything that you had talked about, being concerned about coming in, you guys did a pretty good job with, and the game played out, I think, maybe a little bit differently than some people might have expected.
Yeah, I told the team that they were just like what we were last year. You got a new coach, you got a whole lot to prove. You want to prove that you're tough, you want to prove that you belong, and you want to prove people wrong. And they played like that, and we didn't. And I don't know the reason for that. I thought that we were prepared for what they were going to do offensively, but if somebody steps up and punches you, you got to punch back. And I felt like they just punched us, and then we would respond a little bit, and then I think there was a rotation where I subbed in, and I felt like that maybe changed things there in the second quarter, and that's on me. But you try and give kids an opportunity to step up and do well, but they just played harder, and it mattered way more to them.
You mentioned that second quarter. There were some moments there where it felt like maybe you guys were finding your feet a little bit, and then it all went away again in the second half. Offensively, do you have a sense for where the struggles came from? Was it just a night where the shots weren't falling, or what kind of happened on that?
I thought we took bad shots, right? Not shots that weren't in rhythm. We were going back to trying to play one-on-one against a team that presents issues because of their size. And so it's going to be tough to score over kids that are 3, 4, 5 inches taller than you, right? But if you get sides of the floor, if you play with great tempo, then good things can happen for you. I do think the second quarter there, we found a little bit of an offensive rhythm, but then the third quarter we come out, we foul, very first possession, come down, take a bad shot, then that turns into transition for them. We're up 3, next thing you know, you're down 8, and you're sort of climbing back from that. But again, give credit to Tennessee Tech because they played tough. They were physical on our cuts, they bumped us off cuts, and we sort of allowed it to happen.
What was the vibe like in the locker room at halftime, having, played a better second quarter and have that lead at that point?
Well, they weren't all like, oh, the game's over. I think they were focused. We talked about some adjustments that we needed to make defensively on their baseline out of bounds, on some of their sets. We wanted to remind them of how we were defending things. We talked about offensively, what to look for, and we came out and we didn't look for any of that.
Defensively, where did you guys fall short tonight? Because that's a team that you probably didn't expect to shoot like they did, as well as they did.
Well, we knew that the Hickson kid could put up numbers. We knew that, and we knew she could score in a variety of ways. We knew the Brooks kid could score, right? And her getting in foul trouble, I think, helped us in the first half because she had 3 fouls. This is the thing. If I'm guarding you, right, and you scored a bucket, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you don't score the next time. You have to have that mentality defensively, and we didn't have it. We just sort of let them do whatever they wanted to do. Whether we were in our zone defense or in our man defense or when we pressed, we just let them do whatever. They threw the ball wherever they wanted. We were late to things. We were late to rotations. We were late to loose balls. We were late to taking certain things away. And that's like a mentality that I don't like and that we have to change.
Did you expect to have more opportunities in transition than you did? I know they've turned the ball over a little bit this year. They didn't tonight, and I thought maybe you guys had less transition opportunities than maybe you're used to.
Well, we're good in transition, yes, off turnovers. We're also good whenever teams miss and we can push. They shot 52%. There were very few times for us to get transition from that way. I think in the second quarter we did a little bit, and I think there were times in the third and fourth quarter where we got good looks, but I felt like we were pressing the issue a little bit. As you get into conference play, everybody's going to say, listen, the first thing you have to stop when you're playing SEMO is their transition push, because they're good at it, and that's where they get some of their points from. If you make them score in the half court, then you make it a ball game, because sometimes they have difficulties. So we've got to do a much better job of being able to execute in the half court set when we don't get those transition looks.
As you look ahead to Saturday, just kind of, what's the response you want to see? What's the focus over the next 24 hours?
Well, we're going to see another tough basketball team who is probably better offensively than what Tennessee Tech was. And if Tennessee Tech came in here and shot 52, then Jesus, they might set records on Saturday. I would like for us to have some moxie, right? Have a little fight, have a little care to protect our home court, and build on the program that we're trying to build here.
You mentioned that. I know they've got preseason conference player of the year too. And did what you see tonight concern you at all when you look ahead to what you have coming up?
Absolutely, because Eastern Kentucky is tough. They're one of the toughest teams in the league. They play tough, they play hard, they play physical, and they play with a chip on their shoulder. They walk into the gym and they're ready to go to war. And so we have to have that mentality as well.